Hey everyone, before we get into this video, I want to remind you to enter our Animal Crossing New Horizons giveaway. To enter, all you need to do is like this video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon. Doing all that will get you one entry into the giveaway. The winner will be announced on March 19th, and you can enter on every single video from now through March 18th. Hey everyone, Nathan from Nintendo Prime here, and we are not going to have a typical Prime news today. I am bringing you a couple stories right now, but they're all related to Nintendo of America or just America in general in regards to Nintendo Switch or Nintendo in some fashion. And the first one's actually about the Nintendo Switch in terms of its sales. It actually topped the NPD charts for February, despite some potential shortages and other things coming, which honestly won't be affecting the US until April. Let's get into that. So as you see here, I'm on Nintendo Life, and down here it looks like Matt Piscatella, who is the one who often releases all of the gaming-related information in regards to the NPD group, said Nintendo Switch was the best-selling hardware platform in February in both unit and dollar sales, and it remains the best-selling hardware platform of the year. Beyond all of that, it talks about how the hardware sales are actually down year over year, fell by 34% to 183 million. All in-market console platforms have declined compared to a year ago. Annual spending dropped 35% to 312 million. So in the end, it actually is a down year or down month, I guess, for console sales. But again, Xbox and PlayStation are supposed to have new systems coming. Obviously, we've had the coronavirus stuff, which, is probably more impacting sales right now than it probably was a month ago. And, Switch units are supposed to be becoming scarce once we get to April. So we'll see what happens. But right now, Nintendo's still dominating that NPD. They also won in January. They won basically every single month of last year as well. So Switch is on a roll. But again, there's some noticeable hiccups that could be coming. And one such hiccup could be a large reason we have not had a Nintendo Direct yet. And that is because a Nintendo of America employee has tested positive for COVID-19. This is a very serious thing. Who knows how many other employees might be infected. Nintendo does also employ several older employees as well, although most Nintendo America employees seem to be younger. There could be some older managers and stuff like that involved. This is after delaying the game release and shutting down this year's E3. The coronavirus outbreak has now hit Nintendo of America's headquarters in Redmond, Washington. The Seattle Times is reporting a Nintendo employee has tested positive for COVID-19 virus and has been in contact with other staff members. The video game company reportedly confirmed this on Thursday evening. All Nintendo employees in contact with this individual are now in self-quarantine, whether they have symptoms or not. Because, again, you can be a carrier for coronavirus and never have symptoms. Sometimes it takes 5 to 6 days, and then you start to get the symptoms, and it lasts for about a week, so like a 2-week incubation period seems to be how coronavirus runs its course. Or you could have it and literally never have any negative effects from it, but just be a carrier that passes it on to others. Nintendo of America is supporting this individual as they recover and will continue to take precautions to safeguard the health and well-being of our employees and the broader community. And last week, Nintendo did say all of their employees in the state of California, Washington, etc., could work from home. It wouldn't be surprising if this applies to all employees all over the United States. Japan has done a bit better job at controlling a potential outbreak there. They do have some cases, but we don't know if Nintendo of Japan employees are also working from home right now. But I wouldn't be surprised, if Eiji Anomo or whatever who's working on Breath of the Wild 2 wants to work from home, I'm sure he'd be allowed to work from home. So it's one of those situations that I think if an employee legit had concerns about it and would feel more comfortable working remotely, accommodations would be made and that would happen. So this is just a lot to take in because we already heard about a potential Nintendo Direct. And I'm sorry if you hear a bird in the background. Spring is in the air here, which is good news, honestly. And I got my window open, and the little birds are going tweet, tweet, tweet. But just like I guess what people are doing on Twitter right now about pretty much everything, all the misinformation out there. But in the end, this is serious concern. obviously, we know Switch supply is probably going to be constrained, in, starting in April. Who knows how long that constraint's going to last for? Hopefully, just a month, but it could be longer. It could dip further in the summer, even. We know that obviously now there's a Nintendo of America employee, not named, of course, that has it, and potentially a number of Nintendo of America employees that could have it. I mean, for all we know, Bill Trennan has it. For all we know, Doug Bowser has it. Those are some of the big names that we know. Kit Ellis or something like that. We don't know who has it. It could be all of them. The outbreak could have literally, just destroyed all of Nintendo's employees. We have no idea. So all I can do is obviously wish a speedy recovery, but it also makes things more real. We've had rumors that our direct has been probably delayed due to a virus. It's been over 6 months since our last direct, and to be fair, a lot of that's because this virus has been going on for at least half of that time, and some people have speculated, it's because they're waiting until after Animal Crossing. And yes, right now, the latest report from VentureBeat says we are getting a direct literally the week after Animal Crossing launches. So people use that as evidence that, Nintendo just wanted to get Animal Crossing out before they did that. But I don't think that's the case either. No other major game has ever made Nintendo delay a direct for the release of a major game, because directs have never taken hype away from a major game. That's why it's considered a major game. They could literally talk about Breath of the Wild 2 like crazy in this direct, and people are still going to buy Animal Crossing New Horizons, because Breath of the Wild 2 won't impact the sales of Animal Crossing New Horizons because it doesn't come out forever. So Nintendo has likely been delaying it and making changes and altercations to a potential direct because of the coronavirus and having to send people home. This does cause things like game delays, because you honestly think Nintendo Treehouse employees working remotely from home are going to be allowed to do things like translate games for North America? Like, how easy someone could get into their home network and steal information and stuff? So this is obviously something that needs to be monitored very closely, but assuming we do get the direct after Animal Crossing, it's got to have a lot of information in it. And we're at an interesting time in the video game world in general, because, yes, we know in the future that there might be a limited supply of Switch consoles here in the United States. There's already a very limited supply in Japan, and I'm certain other countries are probably starting to get hit by those supply constraints as well. And you have to wonder about, game releases. And while we are getting Doom Eternal for every platform but Switch next week, and we are getting Animal Crossing, our Nintendo in particular are going to want to wait a long time before they bring out more big games. There were rumors of 2 big games coming, by the end of June, and now you're like, well, is that even going to be a thing, or is Nintendo going to want to wait till they have more Switches on the shelves? Are they going to want to wait till they think game sales can bounce back? Because through all this, eventually, people, if they're out of work for a week, if they're out, 2 weeks, a month, they might not have the money to buy games. So that's another thing to consider as well. So we're at this point where we don't really know what's going to happen, and it's scary to think that obviously someone at Nintendo of America, potentially many people, are suffering right now. We have to hope everyone's going to be okay. To be clear, some people think, because like I'm young and other people are young, that you're not at risk. And while the risk is lower, the risk is increased if you are a smoker, a chronic smoker, if you have big asthma issues. I actually do have asthma issues. So it does put you at bigger risk of further complications, not necessarily death. That it'd be pretty extreme if you got zero medical attention, but there could be things like you might need to be put on a ventilator or a respirator for a little bit while you're recovering, and that's something to consider. That if I got COVID-19 and it became active and was affecting me, I could be in the hospital and I could be on a ventilator or something. And that's a serious thing, because if I think I'll just be okay, and all of a sudden in the middle of the night I can't breathe, that could be it. So it does have an effect on a potential effect on more people than I think we realize, a potential negative effect. But while a vast majority of us will be okay, and I assume that most of the Nintendo employees are pretty low risk for major complications and should be all right, it doesn't mean that the rest of us are. So this is a very serious situation. I don't know what Nintendo's got coming the rest of this year. It's possible we're not seeing any games until late summer and fall. But a Nintendo Direct teasing us would be nice. I think we are at the point that we need some positive news. And Animal Crossing coming next week is some pretty positive news. Doom Eternal coming next week is some pretty positive news for gamers. Gives us something to distract ourselves and distract our minds. And the Nintendo Direct dropping in 2 weeks, supposedly an indie world or an indie showcase or something next week, is good. These are good things because right now the general public needs something to distract ourselves. All of our sporting events have basically been taken away, so we don't have, you're stuck at home. You can't turn on the TV and watch that. You can still catch reruns of some of your shows or some new episodes of certain shows and stuff like that. But, people like these live events or they like these more interactive things like video games. And having something new to be hyped for is important. So even if Nintendo's not releasing anything until the end of the year, let's say Breath of the Wild 2 is their big game for this year, and they're releasing it at the end of this year, teasing more about it is going to drum up excitement and give people positive vibes at a time that we really need it. So I feel for the Nintendo employee. I feel for Nintendo with the Switch sales and all of that. And I feel for the other companies that might be, being impacted sales-wise. But I also hope that companies continue to push forward digital events, even if they're going to delay their games. At least tell us about the games. Let us know they're coming. Show us some trailers. Let us get hyped because we are in a world right now where every single day there's more and more negative news coming out, which happens in general, but it seems to be even more so now. And even in the gaming world, this is canceled and that is canceled and this is canceled and blah, 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 blah. This game's delayed. Let's get some positive news going. So thank you, Nintendo, for what seems like the beginning of a positive news trend from Animal Crossing to Indie World to Nintendo Direct. Hopefully, there's rumors out there of a PlayStation 5 reveal very soon. So that's a thing that we kind of have to look forward to. Microsoft's been revealing information along the way. We know there's going to be some stuff happening in June for digital events. But I hope we don't have to wait till June. I hope that all this stuff that I'm hearing about, all these rumors and speculation, end up being true because positivity can't be denied. Positivity is good for our health just as well as drinking water, drinking your water and, trying to maintain healthy immune systems, working out, all that. That's good for you. But also what's good for your mental health is positivity. And there's no doubt that video games can provide that. So hopefully we get some positive news here in the next few weeks from the video game world so us gamers can be relieved and have something to be excited about and talk about and look forward to. Anyways, I am Nathaniel Rovagents from Nintendo Prime. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this video. Drop a like on it, subscribe for more content, comment, hit that bell icon. That gets you an entry into our Animal Crossing New Horizons giveaway. Otherwise, folks, I will catch each and every one of you in the next video.